Back in the day, fast food burgers were stupid simple: a hot patty, a soft bun, and toppings that actually tasted like something. No artisan brioche, no 7-layer sauces, no marketing teams trying to sell you a $7 burger that's basically a middle school cafeteria flashback. But fast forward to now, and man, some chains have absolutely lost the plot. You've got patties that taste frozen even when they're fresh, buns that go soggy before you hit the parking lot, and premium toppings slapped on like someone was racing a timer. And the worst part? Prices keep going up while quality keeps sliding downhill. So today, we're diving straight into the bottom of the barrel, the 7 fast food burgers that consistently disappoint, from the absolute disaster at number 7 to the one that barely dodges shame at number 1. Here's the thing. Life's way too short to spend your money on a limp, mushy $6 mistake wrapped in wax paper. Before we get started, smash that subscribe button. We're about to save you from some shockingly questionable burgers. Number 7. Wendy's Junior. Hamburger Wendy's introduced the Junior hamburger way back in their early days as a simple, budget-friendly classic. It still sticks around as the starter burger, the gateway, the training wheels. But in 2025, it shows its age. A tiny patty, bare-bones toppings, and flavor so quiet it's basically on airplane mode. What you get is a thin, square patty on a plain bun with ketchup, mustard, pickles, and onions. That's it. The texture is spongy and limp with no crust or sear whatsoever. The taste? Bland. Ketchup forward, almost no beef flavor at all. And get this, the build looks half-assembled, with tons of empty bun space making every bite feel like a punishment. We're talking around 250 to 280 calories and 440 milligrams of sodium, which is about 19% of your daily value. You're paying roughly $2.39 for something that feels like a sample size. Reviewers call it sad, weak, and punishment tier. Compared to the McDouble or even a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger from the same menu, it's zero value. The real kicker is the ingredient quality. You get a tiny patty and a generic bun. That's what you're working with. Wendy's keeps it alive for nostalgia and kids' meals, banking on customers grabbing it because it's cheap, not because it's good. Bottom line? A burger that tastes like someone turned the flavor slider all the way down. If you thought that was underwhelming, number 6 might legit make you question your life choices. Number 6. MC Donald's Hamburger. This is McDonald's OG, the blueprint burger from the 1950s. It's the one that started it all. But in 2025, it's a relic that's somehow getting more expensive and less satisfying. You get a single thin patty, a bun, pickles, onions, mustard, and ketchup. The texture is rubbery patty plus soggy bun. The taste? Salt, ketchup, and nostalgia. Mostly nostalgia. The build is uneven sauce, flat assembly, and it falls apart the second you pick it up. Here's the thing. This burger clocks in at 250 calories and 510 milligrams of sodium, which is 22% of your daily value. And now it's running around $3 to $4. That's insane for the portion you're getting. Ranked at the bottom on Mash's list, and Reddit straight up calls it museum food. Compared to the McDouble, not even close. What makes this particularly frustrating is the cheap bun, the tiny patty, and minimal toppings adding up to zero value. It survives purely off nostalgia and the idea of a simple classic. McDonald's knows people will buy it even if they regret it the second they finish chewing. Bottom line? A 1950s memory wrapped in paper, and it tastes like it. Number 5. Carl's Jr. / Hardee's. Famous Star with cheese launched as the chain's flagship classic. The Famous Star was supposed to compete with the Whopper. Instead, it's mid-tier pretending to be premium. You get a charbroiled patty, American cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles, and sauce. The texture is dry and fibrous on the patty, with soggy produce layered on top. The taste is muddy, mayo-heavy, and has this generic flame-grilled vibe that doesn't actually deliver. The build? Slippery toppings, messy assembly, and it collapses when you pick it up. And get this, we're talking around 670 calories and over 1,300 milligrams of sodium. That's 55 to 60% of your daily value. You're paying $5 to $6 for meh flavor. Reviewers call it infamously mediocre. The veggies are often wilted or pale, and when you put it up against a Whopper, it loses instantly. The most interesting part is how chains keep it on the menu because it looks premium in photos. Customers think charbroiled equals quality, so they order it. But here's where it gets tricky. The photo never matches the reality. Bottom line? The background extra of fast food burgers. Always there, never memorable. If this is already saving you from a bad meal, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Number 4. Jack in the Box Jumbo Jack. A longtime menu staple from the 70s, the Jumbo Jack was built as Jack's signature classic. Today, it's infamous for being questionable at best. You get a beef patty, shredded lettuce, tomato, and mayo/ketchup. The texture is dry, heat lamp rubber paired with watery lettuce. The taste? Weak beef flavor dominated by mayo. The build is a lettuce overload, uneven toppings, and sad presentation that makes you wonder if anyone in the kitchen actually cares. We're talking around 520 calories and 820 milligrams of sodium, which is 36% of your daily value. You're paying $3 to $4 for cafeteria tier. Flavor? Reviewers joke it tastes like compressed cardboard. Compared to a Whopper Jr., not even in the same league. What makes this particularly disappointing is the shredded lettuce plus watery mayo combo, which creates Sog City. Every bite is wet, limp, and forgettable. Jack keeps it alive because it's the mascot burger. People buy it because it sounds classic, not because it tastes good. Bottom line, jumbo in name, jumbo in lettuce, not in flavor. Number 3, Burger King Sourdough King Single BK dropped the Sourdough King in 2018, chasing the patty melt trend. Spoiler alert, the diner-style magic didn't translate to fast food. You get a patty, cheese, bacon, onions, sauce, and a sourdough bun. The texture is dense, greasy, and chewy bread. The taste is aggressively salty, oily, and generic. The build slides apart, with soggy edges and sloppy bite structure that makes eating it a full contact sport. And get this, 743 calories and 1,520 milligrams of sodium. That's 66% of your daily value. You're paying $6 to $7, which is wild for the quality you're getting. Reviewers call it a salty brick wearing a toasted costume. The ingredients read more like butter plus grease stack than burger. It doesn't beat the Whopper at all. The real kicker is that it exists for the premium novelty slot, something that looks new enough to tempt customers into thinking they're getting an upgrade. But here's where it gets tricky. It's not an upgrade. It's a downgrade with a toasted bun. Bottom line, a patty melt from the multiverse where flavor never evolved. And if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Number 2, Dairy Queen Flamethrower Grill Burger DQ's attempt at a bold spicy burger. Instead, it's more like a heat challenge nobody asked for. You get a patty, pepper jack, jalapenos, and spicy sauce. The texture is overcooked, leathery, with limp peppers that add nothing. The taste is heat without flavor, watered down spice that feels like it's apologizing for existing. The build? Soggy bun, random spice pockets, and messy construction that makes you wonder if it was assembled during an earthquake. We're talking around 1,000 calories and over 1,500 milligrams of sodium. You're paying $6 to $7 for something reviewers say shouldn't exist. Reddit calls it dangerous, but not in the fun way. The sauce is basically spicy mayo cosplay. Compared to Wendy's spicy burgers, gets vaporized. What makes this particularly baffling is that DQ uses it to convince customers they're more than ice cream. But the burger side of the menu hasn't caught up. The execution is sloppy, the flavor is confused, and the heat feels tacked on like an afterthought. Bottom line? All scorch, zero flavor, a spicy dare disguised as dinner. Number 1, Sonic Supersonic Double Cheeseburger, least bad on. This list, Sonic's longtime Big Double, meant to be hearty and satisfying. It almost works, but the execution drags it into the bottom 7. You get 2 patties, 2 cheese slices, toppings, and mayo. The texture is dry with a frozen puck vibe and rubbery edges. The taste is salty, greasy, with a barely beef profile that makes you wonder what you're actually eating. The build flattens in the wrapper, with uneven condiments and a messy center that leaks out the back. And get this, 70 calories and 2,000 milligrams of sodium. That's a full day's worth of salt in one burger. You're paying around $7.49 for freezer energy. Reviewers say it tastes like school lunch beef with toppings. It's too heavy to enjoy, too bland to justify, and compared to newer smash-style burgers, gets smoked. Here's the thing, Sonic leans on their reputation. Customers assume the Big Double is the safe choice, not realizing it's stuck in 2010 fast food standards. But here's where it gets tricky. It's still the best on this list. That's not a compliment, it's a warning. Bottom line, a 1,000 calorie salt and grease tank that's somehow still the best among the worst. Fast food burgers used to be simple, just heat, meat, and comfort. But today's menu? It's a battlefield of disappointment, where marketing photos look like supermodels and the real burgers roll out looking like they lost a street fight. From the soggy, flavor-muted disasters at the bottom of this list to the heavy, sodium-packed giants fighting their way to the top, These 7 burgers show exactly how far the industry has drifted from what made fast food iconic. Number 7 barely tasted like anything, and number 1 tasted like way too much of everything. What's wild is how predictable the pattern is. Cheaper ingredients, smaller patties, higher prices, and chains relying on nostalgia or hype to move items most people won't buy twice. And if there's one takeaway from this ranking, it's this: don't let a flashy menu photo trick you into dropping $7 on something that tastes like cafeteria beef and regret. So before your next drive-thru run, keep this list in mind. Your wallet and your taste buds will thank you. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll order burgers, and drop a comment telling us which ranking you think we got wrong.